I'm sure we are all aware of the CBN program. It's called the RTFX 200. How many of us are aware of the RTFX 200? Just indicate by show of hand. How many of us are aware of the RT 200FX, a CBN initiative? If you are aware, kindly indicate. RT 200FX. Okay, Alaba Edu is aware. Any other person, please? Who else is aware of this program? If you are interested in export, this is a program you should be aware of, considering how important it is for you to be able to take, okay, I can see a lot of hands now. I can see a lot of hands. I can see Amina is aware. Constance Kafo is aware. Okay, thank you. I can see a couple of people are aware. Now, that's very important because CBN is taking export very seriously now, and understandably so, because if we really want to grow, if we want to grow our foreign reserve and grow export proceeds, we need and grow FX inflow into Nigeria, we need to actually do a lot of export. Many people have advocated for this for many years, but at last the government is listening. CBN has taken a very, very laudable initiative and has launched the race towards generating $200 billion in export proceeds in the next 3 to 5 years. $200 billion in export proceeds in the next 3 to 5 years. For me, a very laudable initiative, although I've had concern with the program because of implementation. Implementation. I'm hoping it will be well implemented such that at the end of the day, Nigerians can effectively benefit from that program. But the program is driving value addition. The program is driving value addition. And the reason is because value addition is actually the way to go. Value addition is the way to go. So as I talk today about exploring Agric export, I'll be showing you some pictures of some products that Nigeria currently export and we can export, the size of the market, all the opportunities in general, and maybe subsequently we'll be talking about other information regarding taking steps in that direction. So I have a preamble, I have a plea. The plea is to appeal to you to export. The plea is to appeal to you to export. I will talk about the potential of export. I will talk about the packaging and then how you can participate. That will be the focus of this month's session. Maybe next month we'll be looking at some other areas that might be of interest to us. And of course, maybe based on our question also, those also are the area we'll be talking about in the coming sessions. COVID has engulfed our world. It's changing a lot about the way we live, the way we love, the way we do business, the way we relate with each other. And a lot is also happening right now because of the war between Ukraine and Russia. All these are impacting international trade. And that's the interesting thing about trade, because the world is so fully integrated such that what is affecting one country can indirectly affect many other countries. You know, I was to book a flight to Abuja, and the flight was a flight Lagos to Abuja that would be about 20, 25, 30,000, 50,000 naira. Of course, I'm not surprised because oil price has gone so high because a major supplier of oil price, Russia, oil in the world, Russia, is under enormous sanctions that make it difficult for them to do business. So while we sanction them, we also bear the brunt of sanctioning them. We also bear the brunt of sanctioning them. But the sanction is necessary to ensure the world is at peace. But I'm just trying to talk about how integrated the world has become. The fact that it's so important that we understand that if I'm going into international trade, if I'm exporting, I'm not in isolation. So I should be conversant with what is going on around the world, because all that will affect my business. Now, if you look at this chart shows how the oil price went below zero in the year 2020, April 2020, in the midst of the lockdown. And the reason was because the vessels carrying oil, crude oil, could not discharge. They became storex to store the crude oil on water. You can see those red dots. Those are red dots, April 2020, in different parts of the world, because the vessel cannot be delivered. They can't deliver with their content. So you can see how much vessels, because the supply has gone down, of course, it affected the price, and the price came down. And that was a big challenge for the world. But that's also a lesson for us as Nigeria, because for me, this is a foretaste of what will eventually happen to crude oil. By the time many countries now have found alternative source of energy and crude oil price goes down, and of course, countries that rely solely on it are going to be in trouble. Now, this chart is also very important because it gives us an idea what do people buy at any time. It doesn't matter at peacetime, at wartime, what will people buy? The things they need for survival. So during COVID, medical supply and services, food processing and retail products, fast-moving consumer goods, personal and healthcare products, e-commerce, ICT, Agric are products that were in huge demand. So they were called the potential winners of the COVID-19 pandemic. That means if I'm concentrated on this area, I can't get it wrong. People will always eat, people will need to survive. So if my product is around what people need for survival, I will always have a market. Irrespective of the country I'm targeting, I will always have a market. So let me make my plea, and I call it why Nigeria must export or support exporters. Why we must export or support exporters. Number one, it helps us to avoid over-dependence on federal allocation. A number of our states depend on the center. They could generate this foreign exchange themselves and fund their budget themselves, but they depend on the center. Avoid over-depending on federal allocation. It could help to boost our nation's GDP, gross domestic product, which consequently, of course, affect productivity and, of course, job creation and poverty eradication. It can help to create new opportunity for SMEs. There are huge opportunities for SMEs. And export can help us to create those opportunities for SMEs. It can also help to depend on domestic market. If you are a business person and you are into production of any product, it is very unwise to focus only on domestic market to sell your product. It is very, very unwise to focus only on domestic market to sell your product. It's unwise because focusing on domestic market means when there is a recession in the economy domestically, the implication of that is that your business is affected. Your business is affected. In fact, if you are an importer and you import raw materials or you import your packaging materials, that means you need to be getting dollars at a very expensive price to be able to buy your product from abroad, your raw materials. On the other hand, you could have been able to do that cheaper, easily, and without stress, if and only if you thought of considering exporting so you can generate foreign exchange to fund your import transaction. Depending, no matter how good your business is doing locally, depending only on domestic market is grossly unwise for any business. Is grossly unwise for any business. Depending only on domestic market is very unwise for any business. So that's why we must export, generate foreign exchange, create more jobs, and export proceeds and grow revenue for the country. CBN is giving 65 naira for every dollar inflow you get. CBN is giving incentive to exporter. CBN is giving incentive to exporter for bringing foreign exchange to Nigeria. That's how desperate we need foreign exchange. So that means if I export now and I earn $10,000, 10,000 times 65, that will be 650,000. CBN is going to pay me 650,000 in addition to my FX inflow for generating dollar for the country. I think that is interesting. That is what CBN, the circular just came out. And the idea is CBN is desperate to generate foreign exchange. And to make that happen, they are giving exporters incentive. Which other business get that incentive in Nigeria? Export, because our export is predominantly agric, it makes farming and rural life become more lucrative. So if you decide to be in the rural area, it makes farming and rural life more lucrative. It makes farming and rural life more lucrative. Why does it make farming and rural life more lucrative? It makes it lucrative because there will be more demand for the product. In fact, in the CBN initiative, in the CBN program, one of the things CBN is planning is this: to fund the production of primary commodity more than ever before. To fund the production of primary commodity more than ever before. Why? Why? The reason is because it will help. It will help to produce raw materials for the factory to add value. Okay, Alabaye, you said, okay, yeah, okay, thank you very much. You can be dropping your comment in the chat, including if you have questions, and I'll be responding to it. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that what CBN is trying to do, we make farming and rural life more lucrative. You will have money to farm more cocoa, more cashew, more ginger, not to export raw materials, so to create raw material to support the factory processing. Because CBN is giving loan, 10-year loan, 2-3 years moratorium, single digit for you to bring in machinery and add value in Nigeria. I think it's a good time to be an exporter in Nigeria. It helps you to gain global market share and recognition. Gain global market share and recognition. If we take export seriously, remember I'm still talking about why Nigeria must export. Why Nigeria must export and support exporters. Why Nigeria must export and support exporters. Gain global market share. Because when we begin to export more, we gain more market share. We gain more market share when we begin to export more. And of course, recognition. They can say, okay, Nigeria is now the largest exporter of the, currently Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava, but Nigeria is not the largest exporter of cassava product. Thailand, the second or third on the list, is the largest exporter of cassava product. That's too sad. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Why? Because Nigeria is not taking export seriously. It also makes Nigeria the home of creativity and innovation. How does that happen? You know, when you begin to export, you begin to see what your competitors are doing around the world. When you see what your competitors are doing around the world, you replicate. You become creative. You also want to compete with them. Because when you are here, you just remain a local champion. But when you see what your competitors are doing, you want to follow suit. You want to join them. You want to be part of it. You want to compete favorably. You are forced to be creative. I strongly believe that export is industrialization catalyst. If you know that the cocoa market is $9 billion and chocolate market is $30 billion, that's an incentive to think of adding value to your cocoa instead of exporting it raw. Industrialization catalyst. Job creation for youth in the country. The reason, one of the major reasons for insecurity is because of abundance of idleness. Abundance of idleness. When people have something doing, idleness is reduced. If we are able to produce for export, we will need more hands for those production. It will create jobs. It will help us to know the value of states' competitive advantage. Different states in Nigeria have their competitive advantage. We can leverage on in export. Different states in Nigeria. It helps us to know which state can produce this better, cheaper, as a source of raw material for export. Africa can begin to lead the way for others to follow. Nigeria today is the second largest exporter in Africa, following after South Africa. If we do more, so when you look at our population is like ×3 of South Africa. But in terms of exports, so that means export volume per capita in South Africa is more than Nigeria. Because export of South Africa is over $90 billion per annum. But Nigeria, just about $60 billion. Just about $60 billion. It makes Nigerian state to be independent of federal government allocation. Numerous incentives for exporters in the country. CBN just rolled out a new incentive. Opportunity to maximize Nigerians abroad. You know, maybe at the third session, we're going to be discussing assessing the market. And I'll be hammering very heavily on partnering with Nigerians abroad. Nigerians abroad are in millions. Unfortunately, Asians have mastered how to form a multinational between the business at home and business abroad. Asians have mastered it. Rather than cooperating, we are only competing among ourselves abroad. Asians compete at home but cooperate abroad. Indians do that very well. That's why they are the ones selling our product. In fact, yesterday I was talking to someone and he told me that one of the largest African stores in UK has been purchased by a Chinese company. African store in the UK, purchased, owned by Nigerian, purchased by a Chinese company. They know the population of Nigerians in that country, of Africans in that country, and they want to take over, own the business. They see what we don't see. You know, I had a session with Nigerians in Canada and US last month, having this conversation, just letting them see the opportunities and the advantage they have. Having a presence abroad is one of the critical factors for a sustainable export business. Having a partner abroad. So why can't I set up a business with my brother or sister or sibling or relative or friends abroad? So some of them, let me tell you, if they do it, they won't need to look for a job again. They will earn much more than what they are paying them per hour on that job. They are going from morning to evening every day. If we can just find a way to work together. So we need to form a synergy, a very strong synergy. And you can do it together as NAWOG. So that means NAWOG, we form a synergy maybe with Nigerians in diaspora or any other organization of African abroad. Do it together. Together we are better off than everybody doing small couple business everywhere. That we can work together with our friends and relatives abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, all that CBN is trying to do will not see the light of the day if we don't do this. If we don't partner with ourselves and look for credible people, Nigerians abroad, and work with them. They set up a branch, you have a branch locally, you work together, they distribute the product there. The demand is there, the purchasing power is there. We just need a framework to work together. We are able to maximize the Nigerians abroad through export. Some Nigerians go abroad, they do master and refuse to come back. You see those Nigerians that have done MSc abroad, refuse to come back? These are people who should be engaging as our representative to look for buyers, to follow up on payment and develop the market abroad. And develop the market abroad. Opportunity to maximize Nigerians abroad. Humongous opportunity to maximize Nigerians abroad. Someone said, I just started work on 12 hectares of land for farm cassava, brilliant, and palm oil, and palm kernel rather. Our biggest challenge is machinery to cultivate value and value addition. How do we assess? Madam Flora, please talk to your bank. CBN would like to support you. CBN have a fund now for farming to expand primary production. So you need machinery, you need support. CBN just started. Please talk to your bank. I don't know which bank you work with. Let me know the bank you work with. I can link you up with some of the people in the head office to work with in most of the bank. I do training for most of the banks. So if I be able to link you up, please, Madam Flora, the people like you are the one that CBN want to support to increase primary production. Sarah said, thank you for your great insight. As much as federal government want to boost export, it doesn't seem in tandem with our infrastructure, road and transport. I export and know how badly I have been affected by just from untimely access to market. Government agencies too have a major role to play in the entire process as well. It's not enough to grow crops. What happened afterward is critical. Very important, very important, very, very, very important point you have raised. One of the things CBN wanted to do is infrastructure at the terminal. Infrastructure at the terminal. Now, Sarat, I will be very happy for you to be specific your challenge. Give a scenario, drop it in the chat. Maybe I can provide solution or recommend for you how you can find a way around it. I export myself also, and I face this challenge. I will be able to find a way around some of those challenges. So, Sarat, I will appreciate if you can drop that in the chat. Thank you. Alaba said, very true. My family in the US and I are in partnership. Brilliant. We have an established, oh, I clap for you, I clap for you, I clap for you. This is what we need to be doing. This is what we need. If we don't do this, we cannot grow export. We need to find credible Nigerians abroad to work with. They are there. That's the market we are looking for. They can help us. All you need to do is to make it a business. So they are also making money from it. They are not doing it, my brother, my sister, help. They are doing it as a part of the business and they are earning income from it. Maybe you are sharing profit or the end commission, whatever it is that works for both of you. Well done, Alaba. Very important. Poverty eradication in the country. Because export is capable of growing the volume of trade, of production, it helps to create more jobs, and it, of course, eradicates poverty. It helped Nigeria to quit the league of countries depending on wasting assets like oil, because we now have been able to diversify our export. It revived the economy of the country. It slows down rural-urban migration, because a lot of production and processing will now happen in the farms. There are tax-free opportunities for export in the country. If you are exporting from Nigeria, you don't pay VAT on your payment. And you are exempted from a number of taxes. I think even company income tax on your inflow. And you have a lot of incentive. You are able to utilize your idle capacity because now you have more market. It helped Nigerian state to become more viable. Can you imagine they say some states in Nigeria are not viable? I served in Jigawa State. I did my NYC in Jigawa State. When I hear some states are not viable, I don't believe it. Because Jigawa, anybody tell me Jigawa is not viable? Anybody tell me Jigawa is not viable? It's a joker. Jigawa is one of the states that's not viable. But that state produced so much. You'll be traveling from one end of the state to the other, 5 hours, you are still on the road. No traffic, not like Lagos, there is traffic. No traffic. 5 hours, you are still on the road. Within a state, no traffic. Enough land mass to cultivate. And they do a lot of sesame seed. And that state is not viable? Of course, that's not true. Wealth creation for the citizen of the country through export. It can help us to x-ray potential of products found and their potential in each state of the federation. Help to yearn for more improvement because of competition. Yearn for more improvement because of competition. This is so important. So important. Zero in on area of strength of different states of the federation. I want to ask you a question. What do you see in Nigeria today? What do you see in Nigeria today? You know, I've made up my mind. In as much as Nigeria have a lot of issues, I would choose to see what is positive. What is positive? Because there's so much negative that you need to consciously look out for the positive. Else, you will not see any positive things in this country. Unfortunately, do you know that when foreigners come in, the only thing they see is positive? They don't see negative, even though they are negative. They only see positive. When foreigner comes in, they see positive. You know why they see positive? They train themselves to see positive alone. They train themselves to see positive alone, and they leverage on that. Someone said, I see massive opportunities that are yet to unearth. Very, very correct. Very, extremely correct. That's why the Asian, you know, recently they granted some foreigners citizenship in Nigeria. Do you know what it means to be a citizen of Nigeria? Some foreigners are dying to be citizens of this country, so they can have more rights to more opportunities in Nigeria. Foreigners, they want to be Nigerian citizens. Nigerian citizens want to go jump on the plane and go and fight in Ukraine to be Ukraine citizen. People are willing to risk their life to go and fight in Ukraine so they can become citizens, since they are offering visa to people that want to come and fight and give them citizenship in Ukraine. Nigerians are willing to go. That's how desperate people are to leave Nigeria. But I'm also saying foreigners are also desperate to be a Nigerian because they are seeing what we are not seeing. Do you know why? You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. If all you see is what you see, then you're blind. Because you must be seeing beyond what meets the eyes. If you are not seeing beyond what meets the eyes, you will not see opportunities. Many people are not seeing the opportunities in this country. And you cannot take advantage of Nigeria beyond opportunity you see in Nigeria. But you must understand there are opportunities in Nigeria. Someone said, thanks for the encouragement. Fidelity Bank, First Bank being on ground is eye-opening at the enormous potential of Agric, but lack of machinery, poor infrastructure, back-breaking process of traditional method is not encouraging young people. Yes. So I will recommend Fidelity Bank. Please, I will recommend Fidelity Bank. I will drop my number at the end of this session. I will link you. You can chat me on WhatsApp. I will link you with the head of one of people are in the Agric and Export desk in Fidelity Bank. So you can talk to them. So they will let you know the framework of how to access the CBN initiative. Thank you. What do you see in Nigeria today? Okay. Alaba is raising up a hand. You can unmute and speak. You can speak, please.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Concerning what the last person who posted something in the chat said, that there are a lot of bottlenecks in our finances. But one thing I have noticed is that along the line, every time I talk to people about what Bank of Industry is doing, what the government is doing generally, you know, to allow people who are in manufacturing and other fields to access loans, single-digit loans, like you said, with a moratorial period of 3 years to pay back. And, you know, they're like, no, it's not true. It's not working. Where is it? The problem with most of us Nigerians is that we are not ready. Very, very skeptical. Why must we always have this mindset of it cannot work? Why don't we try it? And then if it fails, then we can now reach out and say, I need help in this area. I don't know how you're going to help us do this. If it is really true that Bank of Industries and some other, and then people's banks are not helping, then what can we do? What can we do? Should we have a place where we can report erring banks who are refusing to help loans? That's my answer.
Thank you. I will still recommend, if you are a member of NAWOG, you can present your case as a body to this bank. I know people are assessing Nexim Bank. I know people are assessing, what's the name? BOI. I know people are assessing, and people are assessing really. So the real challenge, sincerely, is that rather than hearing from someone who says he's not getting it, why don't you, if you go to the bank, for example, and they told you the challenge, can you ask them, who are those that have assessed this and SME like me? So you can sit down with them. They can tell you what they did. For example, maybe they put their book together, they did their audit account. I think there is something those that got it right did. Because people are getting this loan, that is the truth. From Nexim Bank, from BOI, people are getting this loan. What we need to do is to get to meet people who have gotten it and know exactly what to do. Fumilayo, go ahead, please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Bamidele. I want to speak on people saying not believing ourselves. And I want to say that as we leaders, because all we need is the right information. This we are getting, we get this one this morning. We have some that we tell our people, and talking about BOI, I know because when I went to BOI as a state coordinator, the manager said, I know NAWOG and I know NASIMA. I want to work with you. Bring your of people. The issue is that even when you tell our people they are not ready to hear from the right source. And I want to say that this is the right time to be practical about these things. Leaders should take their people to the bank. If you have issue, when we say that we are the voice of business people, what are we saying? We that have issues, we should not keep our issues to ourselves. We should tell our leaders, because our leaders know where to put our cases. Please, I want to advise that this time around, don't let us just hear for hearing alone, because all these benefits are enticing. I want to say congratulations to those people that are doing exports. But as they said, please let us collaborate. Let us work together. Let us replicate. Let us form clusters so that all these things will not just be said and we don't achieve anything. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. Collaboration, collaboration. I cannot emphasize collaboration. Flora, let me just round off so we can have more conversation, because the conversation is becoming interesting. So let me just round up my session so that we can have enough time. Else, I might not be able to finish my session today. So I won't take further questions again. I will finish and then I will now entertain those questions. So, but if you need to speak and you don't want to forget, you can drop it in the chat and then we can attend to it afterward. But what Funmilayo said is so important. I have said it. That's why I like working with group of people, because when we are together, it's easier to fix our issues than when we are apart. I know for a fact that this organization wants to work with group, because when you're in a group, it's easy to know who is who, it's easy to trace, it's easy. So you can't just come from the blues. They can say, okay, yeah, we know her. This is what she's doing. This is the product she's selling. This is how long she's been in the business. So you also bring credibility to the table when you're a member of a group recognized by this organization. So we move on, but if you have other questions, please, you can drop it in the chat so I can save some time. It's 10 already, and we need to finish by 11. Okay, so resume, job creation, job creation, job creation. What do you see in Nigeria today? Do you see unemployment? Of course, there are unemployment. There are not enough job creation. What do you see in Nigeria today? Do you see poverty? Of course, there are poverty. What do you see in Nigeria today? There are frustration. But you know what? You can choose what you want to see. Like I said, there's so much negativity in Nigeria that you need to be conscious to look at the positive. If you are not conscious, you not look at the positive. If you are not conscious to look at the positive side, opportunities in farming, opportunities in mining, and opportunities in our population. Opportunities in farming, opportunities in mining, and opportunities in our population. So much opportunities in our population. The market is huge. Everybody wants to be in this market. That's why foreigners want to be Nigerians. Everybody wants to be in this market. That is why foreigners want to be Nigerians. Why? Because they want to take advantage of 200 million people. How many countries in the world are up to 100 million? Talk less of 200 million. 200 million people. The potentials. Look at Nigeria, for example. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava, largest producer of yam, 14th largest producer of maize, 12th largest producer of rice, 4th largest producer of palm oil, 2nd largest producer of sorghum, 11th largest producer of tomato, 4th largest producer of peanut, 8th largest producer of pineapple, 5th largest producer of millet, 11th largest producer of mango, 6th largest producer of pawpaw, 14th largest producer of soya beans, 3rd largest producer of ginger, 4th largest producer of cocoa, 13th largest producer of rubber, and 12th largest producer of cashew nut. For a long time, Africans have not laid big on the population of its people to generate wealth. Those that have enjoyed the benefits of our population are foreigners. They are foreigners. European Union, with a population of about 500 million people, control 33% of trade in the world. But 70% is intra-African trade. Africa, with a population of 1.3 billion people now, control just about 70% of trade in the world, because we have just 2.5% of intra-African trade. So what is doing the magic for the volume of trade done by Europeans? It is because they trade among themselves. That is why the African Continental Free Trade Agreement presents a unique opportunity for us to trade duty-free on the African continent. Present an opportunity for us to trade duty-free on the African continent. This is very important. This is very important. So now, if you look at what Africa imports that Nigeria is capable of selling in Africa: petrol, antibiotics, crude oil, cars, wheat, rice, palm oil, corn, cold briquette, poultry meat, cement, soybeans oil, sugarcane, tea, tissue paper, dry leggings, frozen bovine, raw tobacco, seed oil, hard liquor, baked goods, sauce and seasonings, pasta, fruit juice, bovine, butter, chocolate, edible offers, raw cotton, beer, potato, soup, onion, pig meat, non-fillet fish, sheep and goat, egg, coconut, sorghum, cereal flour, groundnut, fermented milk, frozen vegetable, water, flavored water, ordinary water, meat. These are all products that Nigeria is producing and has market in Africa under the AfCFTA. If you look at this chart, you will see untapped potential. That means these are products that have opportunity, but they are not, we are not exploring those opportunities. In Africa, fruits, beverages, vegetables, vegetable oil and fat, ferrous metals, paper products, apparel, sugar and confectionaries, plastic sugars, fish and shellfish, beauty and cosmetic, and different food items. What does Nigeria currently export to Africa under AfCFTA? Because it's important we know that what we sell under AfCFTA, what we sell are value-added manufactured goods. If you look at this chart, you will notice, what does Nigeria export? What does Nigeria export to Africa? You will notice something in this chart, that Agric, raw commodity, mainly is exported from Nigeria to Asia and Europe. European and Asian are the ones that buy our Agric products. But majority of value-added manufactured goods from Nigeria are exported to Africa. So when you add value, looking for market in Africa is a strategic imperative for you, because that's where you find market. The product. So let's look at this product. To add value, to export, I recommend you add value. The product must be processed, packaged. You need to promote it. It must have a potential. You need to take a nice picture. I will show you some pictures shortly. When you have a product, go and get product photographer to help you take picture of the product, so they can also use Photoshop to make it look nice, so that when people see the picture, it's attractive even online before they buy it. Because people will see your product before they buy. And because people will see your product because they buy, the implication of that is that if the product does not look good, people will not likely buy. If it's a food item, you need to label it, name of the food, weight, volume, list of ingredients in the same order of weight, how the food should be stored, where appropriate, the date when the food should be eaten, genetically modified ingredient or allergen, traceability, lot, batch or lot number, the name and address of manufacturer and distributor, nutritional information at the back of the pack, transparent to make content visible, the source, country where the raw material production takes place, barcode, and preparation instruction. So I'll show you some pictures now, then I will take your questions before we round up. Let me show you some pictures. How many of you know this product? This is a Nigerian product produced by a lady in Lagos, Modara. Black is beautiful. I love the packaging of this product. This is black soap, body wash, cream, body butter, but I love the way it's packaged. You can check her out on Instagram. Now, let me say something here. I export, but I am not a producer. Because I don't need to be a producer to export. I export, but I am not a producer. Because I don't need to be a producer to export. I can be a merchant. That means I buy and sell. I buy and sell. I buy and sell. And I can get them to produce for me in my name. I can get them to produce for me in my name. Why? I can get them to produce for me in my name because they can do contract manufacturing. They make money, I also make money. So both of us are fine. That keeps their factory going. It also keeps me busy. So most of the products I'll be showing you, please note, this product, please note that this product are for, after this product, you can talk to the owner to produce for you in your brand. That's the kind of thing you should be exploring. I don't need to set up a factory for me to export value-added products. In fact, the manufacturer needs more people like me who want to give them money to produce for me so the factory can be busy and they can be profitable without even looking for bank for loan. Let me hear from Flora. Flora, your hand is up. You can unmute yourself. Hello, Flora.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bamidele, for breaking it down in such an elementary way that we all understand. Thank you for that.
Go ahead. I thought you have a question?
I am in Cross River State, I understand.
Okay.
Can we break it? Who would, if I want to open up a virgin place, I can go and rent a caterpillar from here or a tractor from here. Do you understand? Because I'm talking about the whole of this region where I am. To get a caterpillar to come and open an open forest, you understand?
Land clearing.
Cost us 2-point-something million. And we had to bring it all the way from Enugu to come and work here, which means that in the whole of this area, we don't have it. And you can imagine if one has, a machinery plant.
You know what?
You
know what I think you should do? I think Nawog should write. I think Nawog should write on behalf of Nasima women that women that are farmer among us need support from this CBN facility for expansion of production, support for land clearing. Write under the name of Nawog to to CBN. Address it to the Director of Trade and Exchange, and let your member in Abuja fix an appointment. I can get contact there for you guys to follow up with. Fix an appointment to meet with the CBN because they want to expand. So the land clearing should be something government should be able to do for people. And if you come together as a group, I'm sure it's something they will probably find it easier to do. Please, let's work on that, please. All right. Ijoma, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you, sir. So during your last comments, you said you are a merchant.
Yes.
So you don't need to be a producer for you to buy, for you to export.
Yes.
Good. Now we have many of us that are producers that have passed through a whole lot to get some certifications, like FDA, HACCP, and things like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you can you offtake our products so that one would be just be off us? Because one of the challenges that women entrepreneurs are facing is the market, access to the market. So if we have you as our merchant, we know we're just producing for you to sell. Is it possible? Thank you.
You know, we are currently working to set up a branch in the UK. And one of the objectives of that branch is to import different Nigerian products and distribute. So what you are saying is exactly what we wanted to get people to raise funds, to buy off you, and be able to ship it to the UK and distribute to different supermarkets who are in the UK. I don't know if that answers your question. So I'm basically saying that we have a plan for that already.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please include us in your list. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So we'll continue. I saw some comments. Let me check those comments. Machinery and equipment leasing, another line of business. Fantastic. These are good line of machinery, equipment leasing, another line of business. Okay, so let's move on. Modara. Look at another one. PAP. This is the product I export. Ogi. This is the product I export. This is another product from Nigeria. You see this PAP? This lady. You see this lady? She buys from this lady. This PAP is the original producer, but this lady is buying from this lady and is branding it in her own name. That's exactly what I'm saying, contract manufacturing. This is cosmetics, banana chips, plantain chips, roasted peanut. See jollof rice, oh, jollof rice, iPhone formula. Can you tell us your name? You are raising up your hand. You can unmute yourself, but tell us your name, please, and change it. iPhone formula. Go ahead. Sorry, iPhone Fumilala. Okay, sorry, I thought it's formula. Fumilala, go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
we are all grateful, and particularly I'm grateful. I just want to chip it in that I am a medical doctor and I'm a farmer.
Wow.
And I produce exotic vegetables like carrot, cabbage, cucumber, lettuce, beetroot, and all what have you. For over a year, I've been trying to
We can't hear you again. Unfortunately, we can't hear you. Maybe you should go out and come in. I'm really interested in your question, but I can't hear you. Maybe you should go out and come in. So sorry, I went offline. Can you repeat yourself, madam? I heard when you were saying you produce certain products, and then I didn't hear from then on. Fumilola, are you there? Hello, Fumilola. Okay, he's not here. Okay, let me unmute. You can unmute yourself again, please. I didn't hear your question. You can unmute yourself again.
Yes, what hello, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was saying that I produce exotic fresh vegetable. I grow it on my farm, and even I'm into fishery, goatry, and piggery. The farm is in Akure.
Okay, go ahead.
And I also practice in Akure. For over a year, I've been trying to get hold of getting into ShopRite.
Okay.
And it's been very, very difficult.
Oh,
and because yes, I've written to them, I've sent the profile of the farm.
When you say it's difficult, what exactly are they saying when you apply?
They are not even responding. Even the people, once they are out of stock, they like ShopRite in Akure, they will come and buy a little. They said they don't have they don't have power to take me in as one of their vendors, that I should go through their
head office
in Lagos.
Okay.
Yes, I wrote to the head office in Lagos, and they sent me the person to contact, which I did. And you know, it's really making a lot. I was in communication with the lady. She was so surprised that things like that could be coming out of a place like Ondo State. She said, oh, she will discuss with so. By the time I called her again, she said she has left that place. You know, who would I talk to? She said she will get hold of somebody and get in touch with me. It's just taking forever. And these are kind of things that make one get discouraged. So that's why I'm bringing it on. If it is possible to also give us the link. It's Nutelo Farm in Akure.
Okay, unfortunately, I don't have. I'm hoping that anybody here that is in ShopRite can be able to help out with that. It's good you are mentioning it here, but unfortunately, I don't have.
My second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. My second question is my comment is the fact that for people who are in Akure, there are places where the lease. I think Madam Flora should also look inward. Apart from it being a line of business that can be for Nawog or for individual. I can speak of Ondo State. We have a place where people borrow machine, planter, arrow, all the ranges of the equipment. And government also have, because the government own it a bit cheaper than what the individual will actually give out. Maybe Madam Flora should actually look inward. I don't think there's any state that they won't have where they are doing Agric, where they won't have input, he should check agricultural implement, the department. There's always a department in the Ministry of Agric of every state.
That's very correct. I know a couple of states that have actually worked on that. So please, it would be good for to check that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, then for example, my tractor, I got my tractor through the state last year. So information is power. They gave the tractor out, in which case you pay
over a period.
You pay over a period.
Wow.
But you have to have a collateral.
Okay.
So you have to have a collateral. Then some people come in group. The individual that cannot pay, they will come in group, like this Catholic women, something. They got their own in group.
Wow.
So each state, information like that is then recently there is something CBN is doing about seeds. So they give seeds to farmer. So I think that program will still be on. I just got to know about it this week. So if I have more information about it,
a lot is going on. And then we have this information.
Exactly. So I think whoever is in Agric, because last year I had about 35 hectares of maize, which I bought the seeds myself. So I was discussing with somebody this year, and I said, "Oh, that I should check with the Ministry of Agric that they may not give all of those, that they can give 50%, they can give 20% of the seeds and all what have you." And that is exactly what I want to bring on for as many as we should check with the Ministry of Agric first, so that we'll have most of the information that are for women and the like. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Flora, unmute yourself. Hello, Flora.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for all the wonderful suggestions and advice that has been given, But I didn't start on this project just yesterday. I've been on it for over a year. I've done my groundwork, extensively. States differ. This is Nigeria. Some governors are more proactive and they are more sincere.
Wow.
Because like you rightly said, states should have machineries for you to rent.
Yeah.
I've been to Ministry of Agriculture in Calabar. The only thing that they have done for me is to send me to the Agric officer here in Ecom to put me through. Do you understand? And for me, that is also something, because I'm a greenhorn. So I need all the education, that is available.
Yeah.
But in terms of even having a structure on ground where you can even say fertilizer, you understand? How do we assess fertilizer? How do we assess seedling? It's so challenging. So, it depends on who your governor is. You understand? It depends on how sincere, exactly.
Yeah.
So, there's no sincerity, because why would we live here and go all the way to Enugu to rent a Caterpillar? Yeah. Why would we do that? Because, the most expensive cost in this renting of Caterpillar from Enugu is the low bed that will move that Caterpillar to this place. Yeah. Absolutely. So if we had it here in Cross River State, it would have been cheaper for me to say, okay, move to my side.
I can't hear you. I hope it's not me again, my network again.
Well, education is always a challenge, but
hello. Okay, point noted. Ijoma, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello, Ijoma.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I want to just speak on the ShopRite and JustRite, how to enter.
Okay.
For the sister that needs to enter ShopRite or JustRite, the first question I ask her is whether she has some certifications, because if you're in the food sector, if you don't have certification, they'll not listen to you. You must have your NAFDAC. That one is compulsory. Probably during the, maybe after this, I can send their requirements because I know I have done mine. So when they'll ask you for your certifications. You must have your certification. They will not listen to you. You must come there for interview one-on-one with them. Okay, then you have to go with your products and your sample products. Then with your trademark, your company, everything about your company and the organization. In fact, you must have done a lot to have developed your products to an acceptable quality and standards. That's only when they can answer you. And I know they have time when they ask people to come for such exercise. So I don't really know how she did her own, but I'm just sharing from my own experience because I have done it. So for those people that didn't have certification the day we went, they didn't even listen to them. They just asked them to go, but they were off the list. You must have your NAFDAC, you must have like FDA and things like that. And you must do proper packaging and the quality of your products. In fact, to go further to convince them, you can even do lab analysis, lab results of your products to tell them that yes, your products are okay. So they don't just accept product because it's a product. No.
Okay, so I'm not sure she will need NAFDAC because she's doing vegetable. What I would recommend she do is to get quarantine certificate, Nigeria quarantine certificate, because NAFDAC is only needed for processed food items. If it's not processed, then Nigerian ICOYA quarantine will be required. So I would recommend she consider getting that. Another thing you talk about, please. I don't know if National Women have a WhatsApp group where she can drop your details so she can call you, because I feel that will also help her to be able to have access to that market. Thanks for your suggestion. Dayo Adepoju, unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, madam.
I appreciate you all, and I appreciate our resource person and the last speaker too. Actually, what I wanted to ask was the contact so that I can have a discussion with her after this.
So, madam, why don't you just drop your contact in the chat if you don't mind? Or you find a way to reach out to, or you can chat them privately on the chat and drop it for them. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on. We have rice. Now, look at this rice. Look at this rice. This is jollof rice. I bought this rice myself and it lasted for 1 year in my office. It's without preservative, prepared under hygienic condition, vacuum sealed, minimal moisture, and it lasts for 1 year. But what's interesting about this rice is that you can see there, come home to Nigeria. But if you check the back of this rice, it was made in India. If you check the back of that rice, it was made in India. But you can see, come home to Nigeria. They are targeting Nigerian even though it was produced in India. Interesting, right? See date palm. See granite. I always complain about our granite. We put our granite, there's a person that I buy granite from. You put the granite inside plastic bottle of Coke. And refuse to remove the wrapper. Why can't we put our granite in this kind of packaging material? Can you see? Very simple packaging material. Why can't we do this kind of granite? I bought all this in the UK. Can you see the price on it? 1.99 pounds for the peeled one, or the shelled one, the unshelled one, 2.99 pounds. And you can see the size. Sesame seed and roasted beans mix. This is corn and roasted soya beans. Now, as I round up, let's talk about the problems. Now, someone mentioned problem the other time, and I will not deny problems, but like I said, if you are going to reduce the stress you face with problems, I would strongly recommend, number one, you attend this kind of program, learning. Number two, collaboration. And then number three, a mentoring program, a coaching program, a working with someone who has done it before, who can put you through so that you can minimize your error rate. That you work with someone does not mean there won't be challenges, COVID affected everybody. No matter how experienced you are, you experience COVID. So there will still be challenges, but it's easier to maneuver around it if you are able to, if you have the knowledge, you find it easier to maneuver around it and find solution to that problem because you have the knowledge. Because you have the knowledge. And it's so important for us to understand the fact that there will still be challenges, but that does not negate the importance of having a mentor or someone you can work with that can put you through. Just getting someone who has done it before, basically. It might cost you money, but I can assure you it will save you some headache. It will save you some headache. So let's go through the challenges. Number one, product issues. Product issues. Product issue is a very, very big challenge. The reality of product challenges cannot be overemphasized. Quality lab testing, inflation pricing. In fact, if you are into commodity, foreigners are going to come and price you out. I think foreigner is a big challenge we have for this business in Nigeria that I think government really needs to do something about, because the way the foreigners sometimes come with a lot of money and price us out of the market sincerely is unacceptable. But that's the reality today for those that are in the commodity business. For those that are in the commodity business. Then paperwork, that's documentation. Documentation. Paperwork. Cumbersome could cause delay and discrepancies. Payment. You know, when I said the other time that having a representative abroad is extremely crucial and important for the success of export, one of the reasons is because of payment. One of the reasons is because of payment. When you have a rep at destination, following up on payment becomes a piece of cake, because you have a representative who also is interested in the success of the project. You have a representative who also is interested in the success of the project. So if the project succeeds, it's to its own advantage. As a result of that, is interested in the success of the business. Having a rep at destination is one of the ways to mitigate the challenges you face when you are now hearing, someone exported, they are not able to get paid, there's a delay in payment. I mean, if there is a rep at destination that can minimize that significantly, that is where our brothers and sisters and friends and relatives abroad become very important. That is where our friends, relatives abroad become very important. Representative abroad can help you prevent delay and default in payment on your trade transaction. People. The people you are dealing with are important. Sometimes they give you product that is of low grade. Sometimes they give you product that is of low grade. So you need to deal with the right set of people. Then people at the port, legally illegal fees that they demand for. Port, delays, demurrage, discrepancies, damages. These are all issues you face at the port. These are all issues you face at the port. Delays, discrepancies, demurrage, damages. Packaging. You know, in Nigeria of today, it's no more news that your product needs to be well packaged. And sometimes, like the lady I showed you that buys, that is doing contract manufacturing in her own branding, she produced, that packaging material was produced from outside the country. That packaging material was produced from outside the country. So that's a challenge. You might need to produce from outside the country. There are sourcing again that can help you that. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity to learn more about it. So can we get your presentation? Yes, I will send it to Madam Aisha, and I'm sure she will be able to get it across to you. Profit. Now, let me emphasize profit. The goal of a business is to create value. The purpose of a business, the purpose of a business is to create value, but the goal of a business is to be profitable. So I'm saying that to say that I will not in any way say that profitability should be undermined. However, I will not in any way say that profitability should not be taken serious. However, please, if you are thinking of going into export business, in as much as you want to be profitable, please focus more on creating value. If your product is good, quality is good, you can always improve on your profitability as you grow in volume and you begin to ship maybe by sea. Let the product be accepted first. When I started exporting pap to the UK, I did shipment by air for over a year before I started shipping by sea. It might not be very profitable by air. Sea became profitable, but I established the market by shipping by air at a less profitable rate. In as much as profitability is critical, it's important, it's essential, don't quit because you think you are not as profitable as you want to be. Profit is good, but beyond making profit, create value. If you are creating value, you find a way to make profit afterwards. You find a way to make profit afterwards. Flora has dropped her number, the lady that we asked her to drop her number. Those that want her number can see it. She has dropped her number, so you can see it there. Esther, you are raising up your hand. Go ahead and speak.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. Yes, sorry, sir. I want to know, for instance, you want to export somebody else's goods. Do you go for since you're using your name, do you go for your own certification or you can use the person's certification?
By certification, do you mean NAFDAC?
NAFDAC and other certifications.
If the person has certification, let her certification be on it. And on the body, we will put the manufactured by her with her certification details, then marketed by you. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does. It does. It does. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Profit, then processing. Processing. Very, very important. Like I said earlier, I don't think you should process, even if you have money to process. I think you should work with people who already have factory to produce for you. When you have now established the market, you can set up your own factory. In fact, BOI will be very much eager to fund you at that time. They will be very much eager to fund you at that time because you have now proven that this business is profitable. You have now proven that this business is profitable because you have a market before you are coming to them to fund you. If you don't have a market, that will be a hurdle in your bid to get them to fund your transaction if you don't have a market. But if you have a market already, you have done part of the work that they are supposed to do. You also minimize the challenges. You also minimize the challenges you will face in getting funding. Because people complain about funding, but most of the time, the reason why you don't get funding is because you don't have a market. So why don't you work on getting a market first? So that when you are getting funding for expansion, they are willing to give you because you already have a market. You just now want to expand or develop your own factory. Having used contract manufacturing to set up. And in doing contract manufacturing, you will also have helped other businesses to grow by virtue of the volume you are buying from them. You know, I advocate this every time because that is what I do. I export. All the products I export are not mine. And they really don't have to be mine. Because if you are familiar with what happened in China, you know that a number of Nigerians importing from China, most of the products they import are from the same source, the same producer, but different brand name. The same producer, but different brand name. Promotion. You know, I was on a mentoring session with some women on Saturday evening, and I was talking about the fact that if you are going into export market, have a budget, minimum. Apart from your product that you are producing, cost of promotion, you need a minimum 1 million naira. That might involve cost of sending sample abroad, cost of your trial shipment, maybe if possible, traveling, and sometimes paying an agent at destination to do the legwork for you. Promotion in the export market is costly. This is why collaboration becomes important. 2-3 people can come together and jointly promote 3-4 products. 3-4 products, and that can reduce the cost of promotion. But you will incur cost in promotion. Purchase order, securing purchase order, and having favorable payment terms. To overcome this challenge, number one is to, number one, you need government support. But you know, since government support is not very obvious to us, I will strongly recommend you go beyond waiting for government to team up in a cooperative arrangement. To team up in a cooperative arrangement and have a mentor, someone that have done it before, someone that understands to work with you. It might cost you money, but see it as cost of research and development. Cost of research and development. What I realize sometimes is that people want to do business, but sometimes they don't want to pay to learn. So for example, if you want to start processing a product, you can't just open the factory. You go and meet someone who is into processing. You will pay him, he will teach you how to process. He will teach you the process. And you pay him for a service. You can't just go and open your own factory. You need to be trained and someone tutor you. Why? It reduces your error rate. It reduces your error rate. One of the reasons why export business fails is because many of the exporters are not ready. What are the signs of lack of export readiness? Delays in transaction, discrepancies in document, payment of demurrage frequently, incurring losses every time you do shipment, starting export today and dropping out tomorrow, not being able to ship after a while, debt of knowledge, and having a defective goods. These 7 characteristics, if you constantly have them on your shipment, is a sign of lack of export readiness. They are signs of lack of export readiness. They are signs of lack of export readiness. That is why being ready becomes important. And that's why export readiness criteria become necessary. Being ready become important, and export readiness criteria become necessary. Being export ready is a very, very important factor. Being export ready. Being export ready. I will drop a link in the chat. If you want to do your readiness assessment, it's free of charge. You can click on that link. We'll do the readiness assessment and send a report to you, so you have an idea of the area of improvement you need to work on. I just drop a link on the chat now where you can do export readiness assessment. Where you can do export readiness assessment. We'll send a report to you, to your email, after you have filled that form, and my colleague will call you to tell you more about what you need to do. To be ready for export, the promoter needs to be ready, the product needs to be ready, the pricing needs to be ready, the predisposition of the staff needs to be ready. You can't cut corners. The purpose for doing export, your purpose must be ready. You must be ready in your purpose for export. Desire to go global. You must be ready to promote. You must be ready to acquire skill proficiency. You must be ready to boost your production capacity through collaboration, not necessarily setting up a new factory. You must be ready to be able to secure your payment, having a rep at destination, or raising money to fund the business, readiness to raise money to fund the business. Your product must be well positioned. That means people abroad are interested. You must be ready in terms of knowing the people. You must be ready in terms of understanding the paperwork and regulation. You must be ready in terms of potential in the export market. You must be ready in terms of partnership in the export market, and you must be ready in terms of having purchasers in the export market. I won't be able to expatiate on this, but if you fill that form on the chat, we'll call you, we'll give you a report and call you and let you know what you need to do. But be rest assured that the reason why people start the export are not able to do after a while is because of lack of export readiness. As I round off, how do we participate? You can participate in export as a passive exporter, when you export as a professional, by supporting exporter as a lawyer, as a broker, or as an investor in export business. And you can also be an active exporter when you export services as an accountant, as a photographer, as a fashion, as a trainer, and as an active exporter of product when you export value-added manufactured goods and, of course, commodities. We have training programs that might be of interest to you: Diploma in Export Business Management, Executive Diploma in Service Export Management, from Export Novice to Export Legend, and some support services. We also have a free seminar holding every Thursday by 5 p.m. and it's on AFCFTA, choosing the market in Africa under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The next one, this Thursday by 5 p.m. We have a YouTube channel that might be of interest to you. This YouTube channel is called Voice of African Trade. Voice of African Trade. If you search for this on YouTube, you'll find the YouTube channel. I will drop the link to the YouTube channel also for you. You can click on the link. There are humongous free videos on the YouTube channel. I've dropped the YouTube channel for you. Free video. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know when we post a new video with notification. Like, share, and kindly remember to drop your comment. Someone is asking for my contact. I just dropped my contact for you now. My contact in the chat box. You can reach me on WhatsApp. I'm always in class, so chatting will be better. And please reference NAWOG so you can get concession if you need any of our services. To be successful in export business, you need to follow this principle. You need partners, local and foreign partners. You need to be competitive in your pricing of your product. You need passion to go global beyond being profitable. You need to be plan effectively to avoid failure. And please, you need persistence. You need persistence. Ability to overcome the challenges of export business leads to great possibility beyond your imagination. This is because it's capable of creating great platform for repeat business from the same buyer, referral to other buyers, replicating business model in another country, redeeming country email from abroad, recruit multiple partners and distributors abroad, rebuilding broken bridges within nations, and raking in more income than your projection. I would like to conclude. If you want to diversify our economy, if you want to grow our GDP, if you want to reduce poverty and increase employment, if you want to build our foreign reserve and increase value of Naira, this other currency of the world, aggressive drive for non-oil export is the way to go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Fumlai, I can see your hand. Go ahead with your question. If you have comment and question, kindly raise up your hand and I will call your name, then you unmute yourself. Fumlai, go ahead.
Good afternoon once again. Good morning once again, everybody. On behalf of the chairperson, Adia Isha Abubakar, I want to say thank you to Mr. Bamidele for our resource person for all what you have been saying. You have been very practical about all we need to do to be exporters. And to my women, I want to really lay emphasis on the problem, because it's a problem that is not making us to be proactive. We don't want to do it because we think of one thing or the other. And the problems that were highlighted is, they say we should attend programs, we'll be doing that. They say we should mentoring program, we'll be doing that. But the emphasis on collaboration. I want to say that since people have been talking on, I've listened to people talking on issues, problems as individuals, not as a group. And I want to challenge all of us. Let us talk as a group. Let's talk to our leaders. Collaboration, we can collaborate with federal government, not all the time about state. If we are not getting results from state, let us go, let's tell our leaders what we want. Let them put them forward. Let them go forward to federal government. Federal government of Agric is there. There's Ministry of Industry and Trade Investments. They are there for us. They are waiting for us. We have the forum as NAWOG. Whatever issues we have, they are there to attend to it. So please, let us come back as a team. Let us take our problems to our leader and let's tax them. Let them be presenting our cases so that we'll not be doing things as individuals. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Madam Adepo, you can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you. Actually, I wasn't raising my hand, but I don't know how my hand got there.
Okay, all right.
But at the same time, I appreciate this opportunity and what the previous person said on collaboration. Collaboration honestly depends mostly on the leadership of our groups. Yeah. If the leadership is sincere, if the leadership is transparent, if the leadership is accountable, you find that people will fall in place and will be happy to relate. But what we find out most of the time is selfishness. But I appreciate the forum because I know somebody personally that is here and I so much believe in her. She's one of my mentors. And she's in the leadership of this group. I will not want to mention names. So I believe that we can achieve a lot in this group. And I hope she's listening to me. So we can go, thank God Mr. Dele Ayemi was here too. We can group ourselves, processors, farmers, and all that, so that we can fall into place. Like for me, I have a facility where I can process for exports. I did it just last month for a particular organization. And I was happy for myself because what I thought I wouldn't be able to do, I was able to achieve. I'm a trained person from United Nations on beans processing and exports. I have beans that there is traceability from the soil, and I'm looking for markets. I have various, almost 20 different products, processed and packaged. It is true, we may not have the fund to work as individual. We can work as individual, at the same time focus as group.
Thank you
Our
very
limit
much.
is, we don't even have a limit.
Thank you.
So it depends on how we are able to work together. The leadership matters. And this is a great opportunity for us. I think we should be able to use it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Closing remark. Are we good to go? I'm not sure if there's any other question. Let me see. Someone said, please drop your number.
Yes.
Similaya, are you talking to Madam Adepoju to drop her number?
Yes.
Madam Adepoju, please drop your number.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Any
you.
other question or comment? In the absence of such, closing remarks, so we can close. Thank you very much. Who is doing the closing remark, or we can just close like that?
I think I've done that.
Oh, you've done that already. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you
I
very
spoke on
much.
behalf of.
Okay, go ahead. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to make it. We hope to have this for 2 or 3 more sessions. See you next month. Have a wonderful week or wonderful day. Bye-bye.